Hey people, it's Steel Gamer, and yes, it's 3:30 in the morning. My hair is a mess, and I'm making this on my cell phone, so I don't really give a shit about the quality of the video or my hair, because I want to talk about two issues that have been ongoing on YouTube for at least the past month that is really starting to get on my nerves. And it's divided into two parts. Half of it's being perpetuated by these tech channels, and the other half is being perpetuated by the channels who showcase parts, build computers, talk about DLSS 4 and bullshit like that. And every single one of them are not telling you accurate information, and they're lying and making shit up. And because it's being shown by these types of channels that are being pushed by the algorithm, it seems to be legit. Oh, if they're saying it, it must be true. And who are you? And they do this for a living and all this other crap. I'm going to weed through all that bullshit. So let me start by explaining the tech channels that have been showcasing or going over that there's a shortage of 50 series cards, or they're out of stock, or you can't get them. That's bullshit. It seems like every time these YouTubers come out with these videos, they pick specific places to show it's out of stock. And it wouldn't surprise me if they're just taking screenshots. And they keep saying, well, you know, I refreshed this, this, and this. And then you have a few people in the comment section that are agreeing with them. But the fact of the matter is, putting all that bullshit aside, what I find very, very, very interesting is how if all of these cards are out of stock, you can't get them, they're so hard to get, the scalpers got them, the bots got them, and everything else, then how the fuck is every single YouTuber that has a tech channel and the channels that are showcasing these all get them? They all have them. And your first inclination is to say, well, they got it beforehand. No, I'm talking these bastards are buying these things after the launch, after they're saying that the stock is out and showing it, and then mysteriously, they magically somehow are able to get them. So there's no shortage of 50 series cards. They're not out of stock. You can buy them. These YouTubers that are pushing this need to stop this bullshit, because they're saying shit that's completely not true. If they were out of stock, you can't account for every single fucking YouTuber getting them. They all have them after the sale, after they claim that they're out of stock, and they got it within the last week. So, and this goes for the 5090s and the 5080s. So it's bullshit that they're saying they're out of stock. They need to fucking stop doing this. That brings me to the next point on all of these channels that build PCs and talk about DLSS and all this other bullshit. I am so sick and tired of all these fuckwads posting videos that you can put DLSS 4 in any game and have it work. And they are posting these videos. How to get it to work in any game. Here's the 20 series, the 30 series, the 40 series cards. And then all they do is they show the same 5 games over and over and over again. Spider-Man 2, Cyberpunk, it's not 5 games, but they show Spider-Man 2, Cyberpunk 2077, Baldur's Gate, Stalker. They show the same games over and over and over again while labeling their videos and giving off the impression that you can put DLSS 4 in any game. And then they use the DLSS swapper to try to prove this. Let me explain something. I want to see one of these fuckers put this DLS. I want to see one of these fuckers use this with Dungeon Siege 2. If they're going to state that you can put this in any game, I want to start seeing it with games on the PC that don't have DLSS at all. I want to see I want to see Dungeon Siege 2. I want to see Dungeon Siege 3. I want to see this shit put in an emulator. So everyone's like, oh, it doesn't work like that. Every single one of these channels, every single one of them are saying you can do this, which is bullshit. So let me explain something to you about the DLSS swapper. And I made a video about this a little last week. So the thing with the DLSS swapper is it downloads a .dll file that is DLSS 4. Or it's the upgraded version of that. I don't know where anybody got them from, whether they took them out of the Cyberpunk game or whatever. But there's also a ray reconstruction.dll. I know because I have them. And that leads me into believing that There's also one for frame generation, and there's one for motion smoothing. And so the way the DLSS swapper works is the DLSS swapper is not showing you the games that have DLSS 4 in it. That is a complete lie. What the DLSS swapper is doing is it's reading the directory of where the .dll files it's programmed to read are in. So, if I install Dungeon Siege 2 on my computer, and then I take the .dll files that somebody has for this, and I put them into the directory of Dungeon Siege 2, and I launch the DLSS launcher, and I add Dungeon Siege 2 to it, when I open the DLSS swapper, not only will Dungeon Siege 2 read it has the most current updated .dll file in it for DLSS 4, it'll also show ray reconstruction and any other .dll file I have for this. The DLSS swapper does not actually do a damn thing because you can rig it to read whatever the fuck you want. And the other thing too is ray reconstruction is a passive effect. It's not something that reconstructs the way ray tracing works. It takes the current ray tracing and it's redone. It's a different variant of it. That's what that .dll file does. So it takes it and corrects whatever the fuck problem that had with it. But the thing here is, it's a passive effect that has to be turned on by turning on ray tracing. If you have that ray reconstruction file in the directory of a game, and there's no menu in the game that turns on ray tracing, that file is sitting there. It's doing absolutely nothing, even though it's being read by the DLSS swapper. Because again, the DLSS swapper is programmed to read the .dll files in whatever directory they're in. So I want to see these assholes that are posting these videos stop showing the same games everybody else is doing and start showing games that actually matter, or I don't want to say matter, but that actually are not anywhere near in any of the top tiers. Because if you're going to make a video stating how to add DLSS into any game, then you can put it into Dungeon Siege 2. You can put it into these games. Put it into, Drakensang, the Dark Eye. Put it into, Risen. I mean, come on here. If you're going to put the shit in these games, do it right and showcase all these games. And another thing that needs to fucking stop is these people that are showcasing this are saying, look at the amount of progress, look at the amount of power I got in this. Dude, you're not getting power on your current native resolution. If your native resolution doesn't increase, or the quality of your native resolution does not increase when you run the native resolution with this, DLSS 4 is not doing anything, period. And one other thing I wanted to get out of the way is that I have assholes that are arguing with me about how the 4080 is, the 4080 and the 5080 is more powerful and faster than the 3090 Ti. Let's get something straight. This is what's called tunnel vision. A 5080 and a 4080 will not outdo a 3090 Ti because of the VRAM. You can sit and try to argue that the card's faster and it's got better performance. None of that shit matters, because when games wind up using 16 gigabytes of VRAM, your card can be as fast and more powerful that you want, as you want it to be. It's not going to be able to run the settings because you don't have the fucking VRAM to run it. So sitting there trying to argue with me, the 4080 and the 5080 stomps the 3090 Ti. It doesn't, because in the end, the amount of VRAM required to use these settings on top of running the game is what the point I'm making is. So if you don't have the VRAM, because these options take up more and more VRAM, you are not going to be able to use the option. So it doesn't matter how fast and how powerful the card is. So that, yeah, this stomps the 3090 Ti. The 3090 Ti will be able to run shit that the 4080 and the 5080 are not going to be able to run when it's using up the VRAM. You don't have enough VRAM to use the options. So you either have to not use the options or you can't run the game, period. And that's where the 3090 takes over on this. And I'm tired of fucking people just arguing with me about stupid shit that they don't even step back and look at it. Because everything isn't all about power and performance. It has to do with how you efficiently run the game, which is why a lot of these people are only going after the most powerful stuff, not understanding that that doesn't matter. Get a fucking card with a lot of VRAM and you are better off. I would rather have a 3090 Ti than a 4080 or a 5080, simply because I have more VRAM. I want to be able to use my card, and I may not be able to run multi-frame generation. I don't give a shit. I run everything at 4K anyway, and I'm fine with it running at 60 frames a second. All this bullshit about, doubles, it doesn't double the frames. And that brings me back to the point of what I said about the native resolution. If your native resolution is 1440, and you are not getting anything that goes directly on that resolution in the game, then all of these options are fucking useless. They don't do anything. You have to be able to improve your native resolution while running the game on your native resolution in order for that to even do anything. Other than that, if you lower the resolution to upscale it, you are not running it at a 1440p or appearance of 1440p. You're running it at an upscaled version of the resolution you lowered it to. So that's what I'm saying. Everything in this is fucking backwards and people don't have a clue. Unless this shit enhances the visualization on your current native resolution while it's being run at your native resolution, as well as enhance the performance on your native resolution while running it at the native resolution, then these settings are not doing anything. Okay, it may be, oh, it looks good. It doesn't matter if it looks good. It's not doing anything. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. And every one of these fucking channels needs to stop this bullshit. They're putting out false information. Everyone's buying it. And yeah, you got the trolls and their fanboys who believe this shit. But the fact of the matter is, they're all a bunch of idiots that don't have a clue to what the hell is really going on. And these tech channels they're lying to you because every fucking YouTuber, over 150 YouTubers in the past 2 weeks have gotten a hold of 5080 and 5090 cards. That means they're not out of stock, there is no shortage of them, and they are fucking lying to you. And they're they're saying stuff and perpetuating, all of a sudden everybody's buying it. Well, I don't care if you've gone onto a website and done it. Walk into an actual store that has the outlet to this. If you can, go to an NVIDIA place. You will find them on the shelves. Simple as that. So, that's all I got to say. Steel Gamer signing out. Have a good one.